And during that talk, Nolan and Matt Damon broke down what it was like to recreate the first detonation of a nuclear weapon without using CGI.
We went through our own sort of mini version of that Trinity test.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing Christopher Nolan's new movie, Oppenheimer. During World War II, General Leslie Groves Jr. appoints physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer to work on the top-secret Manhattan Project. Oppenheimer and a team of scientists spend years developing and designing the atomic bomb. This movie stars Cillian Murphy, Robert Downey Jr., Matt Damon, Emily Blunt, Florence Pugh, and many, many more. Yes, I am the stereotypical film student that's a massive fanboy of Christopher Nolan. I think he's one of the best directors of all time, and he's made some of my favorite movies of all time. Basically, anytime he announces a new movie, I'm already fully on board the hype train, and I'm going to be sitting in the nearest theater day one. So naturally, I went in with sky-high expectations. There's no way around it. But when it was over and the credits were rolling, I said one thing to myself: that is one of the best movies that I have ever seen. This film is something special. It's a true achievement. It's not going to be for everyone. It's a historical biopic that has no action, just talking for 3 hours. But it's an absolute masterpiece in every sense of the word. I wasn't bored for a second watching this movie. I think it does start a little slow, but once you get past like maybe that 20-minute mark, it just never stops going. It's a lot to take in. I got all the important details the first time around, but on a rewatch, I know I'll pick up on some of the other details that I missed, and that just has me really excited to go and watch this movie again. I don't know if anybody else will have the same feeling as me, but this movie felt like The Social Network with a little bit of The Godfather and some Martin Scorsese vibes sprinkled on top with Christopher Nolan's signature style and stamp on it. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody but me, but that's how I felt walking out of this movie. I really knew nothing about Robert Oppenheimer going into this movie, so I was just kind of excited to learn and go on this journey, and it was really just a hell of a roller coaster. It's such common knowledge at this point that's basically a meme that Christopher Nolan just loves playing with time in his movies. He does it again here, but in a much more toned down, digestible way. I think the structure of this movie is brilliant. It really keeps the audience just engaged and into the story at all times. The movie is told from two POVs, the first being Robert Oppenheimer, played by Cillian Murphy, and the second being Louis Strauss, played by Robert Downey Jr. You can tell whose point of view you're in based on the color. All the black and white scenes are Strauss's point of view, and all of the scenes with color are Oppenheimer's point of view. Besides it being visually striking and beautiful, it has a lot to the storytelling and characterization of these two characters. Strauss sees everything in black and white, very one-dimensional, while Oppenheimer is a genius and he doesn't see the world the same way as most humans do, so all of his scenes being in color makes a lot of sense. The way their two stories sync up, evolve, and deviate from each other is just really enthralling and engaging to watch, and it's executed masterfully. Obviously, the movie is about the creation of the atomic bomb, but I thought that part of the movie would definitely be the best part by far. But the aftermath and the third act of the movie in general is just as engaging as that whole buildup was. And it might even be better. I don't know yet. My brain is fucking running in circles and doing jumping jacks right now. On top of a really interesting story, the acting is just phenomenal from the entire cast. The cast is massive and is full of big name stars, and even if they just show up to say a couple lines, they all give a great performance. There's too many people to name, and some of them are even like surprises for me just because the cast is so ginormous that I forgot everybody that's actually in this movie. I'll talk about the standouts really quick though. Obviously I have to start with Cillian Murphy, who literally became Oppenheimer. He's such an underrated actor even though he's incredible in everything he's in, so I'm really happy that he's finally gonna get some time in the spotlight and get the credit he deserves. He's a very complex character with a lot of layers and it's very fascinating to watch him. Nobody else could have played this role except for Cillian. And in his first big role since Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. absolutely crushes it in this movie and gets to flex his acting chops a little bit. I love him as Tony Stark, don't get me wrong, I literally have posters behind me, but he was basically playing himself, so it was really cool to actually see him do something different after all these years. I would be absolutely fucking flabbergasted if Cillian Murphy and Robert Downey Jr. don't win Best Actor and Supporting Actor at the Oscars this year. I know there's still a lot of movies coming, but these are just two powerhouse performances. Matt Damon is as great as always. He's one of my favorite actors of all time, and he added some much needed comedic relief to the movie, which I appreciated. He plays this hard-ass general, and I thought he had really good chemistry with Cillian, and watching them go back and forth was just really fun. Even though he only has a couple scenes in the movie, Tom Conti as Einstein was phenomenal. He does a lot with very little screen time, but his scenes are just super memorable and really stood out to me. And here's a quick speed round. Emily Blunt, Jason Clarke, Alden Ehrenreich, and Florence Pugh were all amazing in their supporting roles. I'm hoping this is finally the year where Christopher Nolan finally gets his Best Director Oscar, because he really deserves it for making this movie. To have a 3-hour-long movie like this that's so well paced, that stays interesting the whole way through, with these caliber of performances and the amazing visuals, is just incredible. And on top of that, he also wrote the script, and it's great. It's got some really powerful stuff along with some quick, snappy dialogue that's also emphasized by really great editing. And since I'm giving away hypothetical Oscars right now, I'd give another one away to cinematographer Hoyt van Hoytema, because like I've said a million times in this review, the visuals are stunning and all the different styles just really come together really well. They also did something really interesting here that I loved, where there's like visualizations of Oppenheimer's thoughts, imagination, and his emotions. It really adds a lot to the emotion and just to the film in general and the character. Also, the fact that there are 0 CGI shots in this movie with some of the stuff that we see on screen is just ridiculous. It's true movie magic. There's no way around it. It's just insane. And Ludwig Göransson cooked up one hell of a score for this movie too. The music is phenomenal. Overall, Oppenheimer absolutely blew me away with a compelling story that challenges the viewer, stunning visuals, and an all-star cast firing on all cylinders. Christopher Nolan truly gave us something special this time around. As a theater-going event, movies like this is what cinema is all about. Oppenheimer is clocking in at a 98% on the Bravo barometer. Not gonna lie, I was very tempted to just give it a 100%, but I want to rewatch it and I want to stew on it a little bit more before I give it that honor. I'm so happy that we have filmmakers like Christopher Nolan working today and actually getting their movies made. This is the epitome of a theater-going experience. All of his movies are, and that's why I love him. He truly cares about the art and culture of cinema, and he cooked up one of his best movies yet for us to go enjoy on the big screen. Please go see this movie in a theater, watch it the way it was intended to be seen, and once you do, let me know what you thought about it and what you thought of my review. If you liked it, don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe for more reviews coming very, very soon. And as always, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.